Hey guys, welcome to Superlative Radio. Dylan Stone here with you. Hope you enjoy the following vlog.
Hey guys, welcome to another vlog here on Superlative Radio. Today I want to talk about the wonderful thing that it is to, if you guys can see over there, these great big giant freaking homes. Just the other night, the girlfriend and I went for a drive, and we went around looking just for a drive and looking at houses and stuff just to see what kind of houses there are that people are living in. And some of these homes, you know, they are ungodly big. It got me thinking about, you know, where we live and the city that we're in. There's not an abundance of extremely high-paying jobs. So I often wonder if a lot of these people aren't house poor. And if you haven't really heard that term before, it's basically where you've thrown all your money into your house and that's it. Like, I mean, you have no money for anything else. It's just, you're just living in this giant house so you can say you have this great big nice house, but you have nothing else. And we happened to drive by this one house, and it was this massive friggin' home, and it had in the driveway there was like 6 cars, you know, and it had like a 3-car garage, and it's just like, I mean, I get that there are people out there that have money, but there comes a time when you think, is it just too much? You know, like if you watch TV and you see any of those like celebrity things where they go to their homes and you see these celebrity mansions and stuff like that, and you think, at what point is it just too much? Like, what do you need like a 73-room mansion for? Like, you know, like what do you like? I guess it's just, at what point does it become too much, where you're, I don't know, just going, geez, you know, I don't know. I've never been in these 60 rooms. I don't even remember what's in there, you know, or I've never used those 12 bathrooms. What do you have them for? Just, you know, at what point do you think, you know, is it too much? Because like I said, you know, if you have like, I remember when I was in college in Ottawa, there was a home that this guy owned, and he could drive his cars into his garage, and then it had an elevator, and it went down to his garage underneath his house where he parked all of his cars. And it had a turntable so that he could just drive in, and when he backed out, it would spin the car around, come up, and it would be able to drive right out. And I mean, that's kind of cool. You know, what do you need? Like, I don't know. I guess it's just, I see these things and I think, at what point does it become too much? Like, I can understand, like, if you've got a big family, like maybe you got like 5 or 6 kids, and that just means you're crazy. You know, obviously you're going to need a sizable home for, you know, say 5 or 6 kids and the wife and the husband and the 3 dogs and the 2 cats and the 18 goldfish that you have, you know, or whatever else it might be. You know, I could get maybe having a bigger home then. Or I could even get maybe you have like a slightly bigger home because you've got more money and you want to have room for guests when they come or whatever. But there's a house not too far from where I live, and if you could see this home, it's a big mansion, and it has an indoor pool, and it has like, you know, I think it has like 3 or 4 garages attached into it, and it's huge. And I remember before that house was there was another house that they'd had that was very big, but they knocked it all down and then they built this one. You know, I just look at it and I'm like, there's no way there's like 30 people living in that thing. And I think, when is it too much? You know, there's people in this world, and I've said this before, that are, you know, dirt poor. They're living on the streets, or they're you know, living in dives, or they just have nothing. And then you know, you have these people that are splurging on these kinds of homes. And I wonder, at what point should society be like, you have too much and this person doesn't have anything? You know, I mean, I get that, you know, people say, well, hard work leads to blah, blah. You know, I had this discussion with an old friend of mine before he passed, and he talked about, he felt that in America, everybody had the same opportunity. And I said, really? I said, I would disagree with that. And his response was like, well, no, it's the truth. And I'm like, no, really, it's not. He was a doctor, and he was a doctor in New York. who retired in Myrtle Beach. Okay, he owned a Porsche, he owned a Corvette, and another Porsche. And those were just his cars, like his driving around fun cars. They weren't his everyday vehicles. Because his wife had an everyday vehicle, he had an everyday vehicle, his son and his daughter each had a vehicle. And I said, okay, all right, so everybody has the same opportunity. I said, okay, all right, so your children, I said, who go to private schools and graduated from private schools and then are going to university, to some of the finest universities in the country, I said, they have this, I said, a kid born in the inner city of Detroit or Chicago has the same, are you telling me they have the absolute same opportunities that your children have? I said, you're on crack if you expect me to believe that. I said, your kids are, I said, their education is paid for. They grew up in a nice home. They never had to deal with a single parent who was working all the time, 3 jobs just to put a roof over their head and food in their stomach. And even then not doing that. Like I said, you have no idea. I said, you cannot say everybody has the same opportunity to climb out of poverty. No, they don't. There is sometimes when some people just have more opportunity. Like, you know, I don't know if Jeff Bezos, who runs Amazon, has any kids or not, but if he does, I'm sure his kids have a far more opportunity in life than the average person's children do. And I'm just talking the average person, say a middle class family's children. I mean, because he's one of the richest people in the world. So you got to think, at what point is it too much? When you have too much? At what point should we as a society say, you have too much? You don't need all of this. It like, you can't take it with you when you die. You can't. When you leave this world, you go out the same way you came in. Well, not really the same way. I mean, I'm sure your mother wouldn't appreciate that part, but and your father definitely wouldn't. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, like, we all go out of this world and you can't take it with you. The Egyptians thought they could. That's why they buried it in tombs with them, but you can't. You can't take anything from this world with you when you go. So what is the point of having billions and billions of dollars if you're that kind of wealthy? Like, you could give away 99% of your wealth and you'd still be a billionaire. Like, at what point, I guess I've made my point. I'm just saying, at what point should society say, hey, it's too much? You know, the wealth should be distributed a bit more evenly so that everybody has the same kinds of opportunities, so we can pull other people in our own countries out of poverty. I've said this many times, our governments will go out of the way to help some third world country or some other country by donating millions and millions of dollars in aid and blah, 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 blah. And I get that we should try to help other people in the world. I get that. You should keep your own house in order first, as they say. So, you know, it should be, okay, well, we're Canadians, then all right, let's make sure that we don't have any Canadians that are homeless or any Canadians that are living below the poverty line. And once we've accomplished that, and every Canadian's gotten an education, once we've accomplished that, then we are in a way better position to help other countries in the world. So if we took all the wealth in Canada and we distributed it a bit more fairly so that everybody could have these things, then Canada would be a stronger nation and much, much more able to help another country. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, or maybe I'm just dreaming of a better society, I guess. But I've watched a lot of Star Trek in my life, and Star Trek leads you to believe that we can be better. So if we can be better and we can have it so that there is, I mean, if you watch, you know, Deep Space Nine, there's one point where Sisko says, on Earth, there is no poverty, there is no homelessness, there is no need for want, because they've eradicated it on Earth. Think about that. It doesn't have to just be science fiction. It can be science fact. Thanks for listening to my vlog today. Catch you guys for another one here on Superlative Radio.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Superlative Radio. Come back anytime. And when you do, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment. We really want to know what you think. We'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, because that's the way it's supposed to be.